How are we doing, guys? Broken Machine here. Welcome to a map guide for Marita. You'll most likely want to be using the medic class for this one. The ability to heal, dominate in close quarters, and smoke out open areas allowing you to push all certainly give this class a massive advantage on this map over the others. The Tommy gun with the following specs is a good all-rounder that will suit many situations. Easy. The ZK3H3 is a good choice too for those who want something fairly easy to manage outside of close quarter combat. If you just want to go super aggressive, just pick up the Suomi. Honestly though, you'll be fine with any of the medic weapons for the most part. These suit me well, and I would certainly recommend you give them a go. Keep on watching, I'll go over the other classes later, after a few sweet tips to help you do well on this map. There is lots of cover on this map if you know what you're doing. Use the natural environment around you to conceal yourself and use as cover when needed. Especially important for getting those sweet flanks and staying alive in these open areas. Do keep your eyes open for bushes on this map. Not too many around, but they are being used by players trying to catch you off guard. Much easier to spot them though compared to some of the darker areas on other maps. One mistake I've noticed is players not entering and using the buildings to make moving around the map a little easier. Check your corners as you do, moving up the map piece by piece, room by room, and holding angles as much as possible if you need to. A lot of people are not holding angles. You don't always need to be pushing around the map, especially on a tough map like this. So do try to hold angles, take your time, and defend as much as possible and when necessary. If the area in front of you is too open, too many enemies and not many teammates around you, try to defend just a little more often. I think this clip explains how to move around the buildings much better than I could describe. Oh dear. Hold on, buddy. I got you, don't worry about it.
So, erledigt.
Nice try, buddy. I was ready. I was ready for that one. I'm definitely gonna need some ammo. Well, you walked right into that, didn't you? Absolutely nasty, as you can see, if you can get in the right spots. Do recommend building fortifications around the map to help you defend. In the middle here, there is plenty of cover if you build up. There are plenty of routes you can take to get on top of the buildings, by the way, should you wish to do so. So many parkour routes here as well. You'll notice in these clips I rarely stay in one place for too long. I'd recommend you do the same, especially out in the open and inside the buildings. And always be on the lookout for potential flanking spots. There is so many, and your enemies will use them against you. Just look at the map, see which flags you hold, and be ready for enemies coming from these areas. There are lots of easy flanks around the built-up areas, lots of buildings, windows, and rooms to rush through should you need them. Do take a breather on the stairs like here, use these spots to take a breather, see what's going on around you, and keep these streaks going. You'll want to try and keep the flags capped in order on this one. With flags capped all over the map, the routes enemies may take can soon become unpredictable. On a map like this, you don't really want that. So do try and keep them in order, hold the middle flag if possible, and don't push across the other side of the map unless you have the opportunity to do so. Remember, you don't need to cap all the flags in the game, you don't need them all, you'll be fine. Unless, your team is really down, then just try to keep them in order and try to maintain map control. Remember, having 3 flags and controlling the majority of the map is better than, having 3 flags all over the place and the spawns being unpredictable, your teams being all over the place. That could actually risk being spawn trapped and completely losing all the flags. It's happened. So if you can hold them in order, it'll be much easier to defend and win the game. As for individual flag locations, consider the advice I've given earlier. It applies to pretty much all of them. However, C is a particularly difficult flag at times. Do not recommend pushing into or out of this flag without a good look around you. If you're coming from the village area, it's usually best to flank around the outside of the map and come back around. There is a bridge you can build over here, by the way. If going from C to the village area, also recommend flanking fully left if you can, or smoke out the area here. This is a tricky one without a decent team. Highly advise not pushing solo unless you want a real challenge. D flag can be an open miss. Take your time here and approach the flag from your team's spawn side. See which side of the map your team spawns on, capture from that side, and you're good to go. I've always suggested in my guides that it's best not to always try to capture a flag on the first go. This is especially important on Marita, as you can often be surrounded and outnumbered in little time at all. Trip the flags if you need to. That's where you step on them briefly and see who comes running, or just to see how many people on the flag. As you know, remember this, the icon here indicates how many enemies are on the flag. If it's just you alone and it's half and half, there is only one other enemy. Use this to your advantage and to help you decide whether to attack or maybe come back later on. Tripping flags and sneaky plays is definitely the way to go for this map. Not going to suggest sitting in a bush, but maybe a good idea now and then if you get outnumbered. Nothing wrong with sitting in there in a bush to take a breather, get some health, maybe let enemies pass and move along. Try to get a good feel of where the enemies are and what battles may happen next. For example here, I was stuck on the roof, realized enemies were pushing and decided to use that to my advantage. I got a view looking down, I can see what's going on, enemies can't really see me. Easy, simple, helping to defend, really helps out the team. Obviously, you don't want to be in one place for long, especially on this map, but knowing when to push, when it's your fight and when it's not, will put you at a massive advantage, particularly on this map. Easy way to think about this is to just see what's going on around you, look at the minimap. Is there a ton of teammates around you? No. If there's a ton of enemies, maybe take your time. You're gonna get outnumbered. Unless you want a challenge, don't be rushing out and pushing up the map. Back to the classes. Honestly, not a huge fan of the sniper class on this one. It will suit you if you play in a more defensive manner, but if you're like me, pushing objectives and such, it's probably not the best class. The Gewehr, Krog, Ross, they'll all suit you well. Any sniper will suit you well, to be honest. If you're being aggressive, probably go for the Gewehr. As for the support, the drilling, absolutely beastly this one on this map. There is so many people. Oh my god. Oh my god, I cannot believe I survived that. That clip right there is actually a good tip for breakthrough. A lot of struggling going on with this section here. Honestly, you just want to push for this building and just try and get in there and take it. That's my only advice. It's a little unbalanced and is in need of a second objective, but on this section, just push for that building, smoke it out, get in there and try and hold it. That's honestly the best advice I can give you. If you want to go super aggressive, stick on the Lewis. That's a bad play. That is a really bad play. Yeah, that shreds. Bren is also a wise choice as well. Support is certainly the second best class on this map. Maybe actually the best if you play it right. Check your corners, hold angles, and don't peek out too much. Rinse and repeat, and you'll be good to go. You know what? That could apply to all classes and this map in general, actually. Just check your corners and hold angles. That works on this map so well. As for Assault, the Sturmgewehr is just an absolute beast. For the more aggressive players out there, that one, But you'll be fine. Honestly, you'll be fine with most of the assault weapons, to be honest. The STG is also a good choice. The Gewehr 43, as you saw before, absolutely shreds. Iron Sight as well, do recommend. Obviously, I'm still learning the map myself and the best routes to take. And I'm going to leave you guys with a couple more clips so you can kind of get a feel for how I'm playing the map and what kind of things I'm doing. I'd love to hear your thoughts on them. Can you see any mistakes? Do you have any tips of your own? Do leave a comment about them down below. Anyway, I hope you found this guide useful. Let me know if you'd like to see more, and I'll see you guys soon. Take it easy, guys. Catch you later. You revive him if you want, dudes. It's a bad decision, don't do it. Push, 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 push. Sweet, 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 sweet. Nice. Nah, I'm not going that way. Hell no, we're going straight to A.
Los, erobern wir das Ziel.
Are we good? Lovely, lovely teammate. Beautiful. Oh my god. Dodging all the bullets. Where's he gone? Hold on. I'm surrounded here. I am surrounded. Oh dear. Oh dear. How am I still alive?